In tricks, the skiers show off their flair and precision with a variety of acrobatic maneuvers. The slalom is a test of strength and acceleration. It's just a question of how long you can hang on. Finally, the jump. They tell me it's a terrific feeling. You wouldn't catch me up there, but it looks great. The overall title is for masters of all three disciplines. Craig Llewellyn won't be skiing here in Singapore, but at the last Worlds, he missed out on the overall title by the narrowest of margins.
The overall title, you really have to be a well-rounded skier, and the time that you have to put on the water to be a good three-eventer is you know, it's got to be 3 or 4 times as much the effort. And so for somebody to be a really good overall skier, they have to be extremely dedicated and really have to know what's going on.
The man who beat Llewellyn 2 years ago is Patrice Martin of France, the undisputed world #1. He's been tricks champion 4 times since 1979, and this year he's going for his 3rd overall title.
I don't know what is going to happen here, as the site is also different than what we used to ski on. We have tides, we have current, and we have also some backwash. So we have to do with all that, and I don't know which one is going to have the best condition and the best chance to do something good.
First event, the slalom. The boat travels at constant speed, 34 miles per hour for women and 36 for men. The skier must round 6 buoys set on either side of the boat. The tough part is that after each successful pass, the rope is shortened by predetermined amounts. First, the women. Current leaders, Jennifer Leachman of the United States and Natalia Rumiantseva of Russia, both with 2 buoys at 12 meters. But this is the world's #1, Canada's Susie Graham. Cool and smooth around 1, 2's clean. Nicely round 3, and she's looking very determined and strong today, Susie Graham. 5's a cruise, and she rounds 6 in the easiest of fashions. That was another very fine pass.
She is cool, calm, and relaxed. She doesn't seem to be tense at all. Nice turn on buoy #1. She's well ahead of the course on this 13-meter tow line. This is cool skiing. She is not being affected by the pressure. She is a skier that has completed almost every tournament in a winning position except this one, the World Tournament. She would certainly like to win here.
And Susie Graham now has a fine opportunity to take the lead in the World Championship final. 12 meters, she needs more than 2 to go into the lead. She's very early on 1, nice turn, pulls hard for 2. Graham rounds 2. This is the crucial buoy, no problems at all, and Susie looks like she may run this pass. She's round 4 and early, pulling hard for 5. That's great skiing from Susie Graham. That's the new leader. Susie Graham at the top of the leaderboard for Canada. 5 buoys are at 12 meters or 35 off, puts Susie Graham and Canada into the lead in the women's slalom final. 3 more women to go in this event. Next up, Tony Neville, and she's already completed her pass on the 13-meter rope length. Now at 12 meters, Tony Neville of Australia. She needs more than 5. She needs to run this pass to take the lead away from Susie Graham, who leads for Canada. Good and early on 1. That was a fine first buoy. She's got plenty of time on 2, a little late on 3, but the strength putting her through. 4 is good. Tony Neville, this is good. That equals the lead. 1 more gives her the lead. That's it. That's the new leader. Tony Neville of Australia into the lead, raises her arm in salute, and Australia and Tony Neville are at the top of the leaderboard. Susie Graham moves into 2nd place. What a superb pass that was.
Well, the gamble paid off, and you can see in the replay that she didn't lose time the way Susie Graham did. Perfect turn, sweeping turn on buoy #1. She does not get the slack line. She controls it better. She didn't have to rear back on that turn as Susie did. So already she's farther ahead of the course. And this is still a gutsy performance. So look at that wide sweeping turn, and she has to lean back and pull hard to the next buoy, and then she gets around number 5, and she'll head out for number 6, and this will be one happy skier as she realizes she's moved into the lead and has shown us the best slalom performance since this tournament began.
Now she has to compose herself. The real tough skiing lies ahead. Tony now moves into 38 off, or 11.25 meters. Years of age, from Queensland, Australia. This is a very important pass because there's still Christy Overton and Helena Schalander to come. Tony perfectly through the start gates. One's good, that'll be it though. One boy at 11.25 meters, or 38 off. That's the new leader, Tony Neville of Australia. Surprisingly, Christy Overton failed to complete 12 meters, so just one skier left. Helena Schalander, the defending world champion, already through 13 meters. Schalander now at 12 meters, or 35 off. She needs this pass, she needs 6 boys here. She's good round 1 and 2, looking very strong, Helena, all very smooth through 3. That was a fine, aggressive turn. 4's good. Excellent through 5. She got pulled a little bit forward, but pulled it together, held it together, and she lives to ski another pass. And Tony Neville must just sit it out a little longer.
So it all comes down to the next pass. But meanwhile, we'll get a chance to see again how well she skied at 12 meters. A nice sweeping turn on boy number 1. Well in control on boy number 2. Similarly on boy number 3, a bit of slack there. She had to lean back. Controls the slack nicely on 4. Easy turn on 5. She'll make it out to 6, so it all comes down now to the 11.25 meter pass.
Here we go. Schalander pulling hard for 1. She's through 1. Will she make it to 2? Now, which side of the boy was she there?
It looked like she was inside the boy.
Inside, yes, in which case she's equaled the score of Tony Neville.
So it comes down to a runoff for the gold medal position. And this is precisely the scenario that happened in the men's slalom final at the last World Championships in Austria. Now, when we come down to a runoff, it's no longer equal. Anything can happen in a runoff. The pressure mounts.
The towboat has made 4 passes, so there's no advantage for either skier. The water is as if skiers had already skied the course, and Helena Schalander gets us underway. Tony Neville must sit and wait and watch just a little longer. So 12 meters is the rope length, 35 off, Schalander on course. She rounds 1, and a mistake on 1 leaves her a little late for 2, but she's found the rhythm again. She pulls hard for 3, again she's late, but finds it from somewhere around 4. Schalander skiing all out. And that was a really gutsy pass from Helena Schalander. The pressure obviously beginning to take its toll. Tony Neville, with the advantage of going second in this runoff, knows exactly what she has to do to take the gold medal. She's got a better 1 than Helena Schalander, and she's tighter on 2 than the Swede. Rounds 3, pulls hard for 4, looking very strong at this point, Tony Neville. Oh, but she's fallen. Oh, that's very sad for Tony Neville, and that means that Helena Schalander of Sweden has retained her title.
Well, it was a good try, and she had excellent entrance into the course and a fabulous turn on boy number 1. And you would and then she came up to number 2. That's that second send-off on the course, and she was in great shape. And at that point, we thought she might make the pass. She was certainly looking better than Helena did at this point on the course. And number 3, she's very wide, gets some slack, and here's where she'll get into trouble. On number 4, she has too much slack. She had to lean back. She couldn't control it. She couldn't keep her angle to the wake. She leaned over and into the water quickly. Very disappointing.
So Helena Schalander successfully defends her world title. Australia's Tony Neville takes the silver, and bronze for Susie Graham of Canada. Disappointment for Christy Overton, but a promising start for Natalia Rumiantseeva in the overall event. Very strong, such a tower of strength, Andy Mappel. Towers above you when you talk to him, and that really helps his slalom water skiing. And there we go, 12 meters in the bag for Mappel of Great Britain. Andy Mappel's the world #1, but who are his main rivals for the World Championship?
Everybody. I don't really care what anybody else does. To me, it doesn't matter who puts the score out there. It's the score you're going to have to try and beat, not the person. I think you start getting into worrying about people, then you're not thinking about your own job. I don't really care what anybody puts out there. I can just go out there and do as much as I can do.
So Mappel now knows what he has to do. Chrysler Point for the United States leads with 2 at 11 1/4 or 38 off. Mappel needs more than that to assume the lead and continue his challenge for his 3rd world slalom title. Good and early on 1. And round 2, all the strength of Andy Mappel, seeing him through there. Oh, but that's it. 3, and that gives him the lead. But will that stand with Lucky Lowe, Bettesini, Thurley, and Patrice Martin to come? Andy Mappel may be fortunate to hold on to that. It's enough to give him the lead at the moment and push Chrysler Point into 2nd.
And again, the variable water conditions which are keeping the performances down. Andy Mappel should have no problem at this tow line length, but he had a lot of trouble on buoy number 2, and that will put him out of shape totally on number 3, and he just can't make it back to the wake in the water quickly, and that will open up the competition for the skiers to follow.
2.5 at 11 1/4 for Mappel puts him ahead of Chrysler Point. Lucky now moves into 12 meters. Now has to concentrate just a little bit harder. This is the sort of pass, again, he'll do every day, but in competitions, everything gets a little bit more tense, a little bit more of a problem. Lucky looks to be in control of his skiing today. He confessed a liking to the conditions here when I spoke to him, and that liking has been transformed into excellent slalom skiing. That was as cool as he come. Lucky Lowe of the United States, proving why he is the current world slalom champion.
Well, personally, in my heart, when I was young, I trained and lived strictly to be a world champion one day. And at the young age of, we can say 35 last year, I was able to win my first world title. But the Worlds is something that whether I ever win again is besides the point. I am the world champion. I'll always be the world champion in my heart forever. And all these people that are coming up here, all the young people that are here, like in the finals, there's one girl from Switzerland that's 16 years old. Her goal is to be a world champion, I would hope. But some people get to thinking, oh, it's cool to be a pro water skier, when the bottom line is you got to pay all your dues, and it still takes the competition, the stress to be in this world championship with every country watching you to prove that you're the best is still the most ultimate thing you could ever achieve.
So Mappel and Chrysler Point will be watching very carefully. Now into 38 off, 11 1/4. The leading score from Britain's Andy Mappel is 2.5 at this rope length. This is the defending champion, Lucky Lowe. Round 1, falls hard for 2. 2's good, he needs 1 more to be sure of taking the lead away from Mappel, and he's got it. That's the new leader, Lucky Lowe of the United States. 3 at 11 1/4, 3 at 38 off, puts him firmly at the top of the leaderboard.
Well, he still has to think about the skiers to come. He'd like to have had a few more turns than that to really put the pressure on, but nevertheless, that has moved him into the lead. 3 points might not stand up. I'm sure Lucky hopes it will. He gets the good turn around buoy number 1, but he got a little slack there. He didn't get the angle of the ski to the wake, and now he's way behind, reeling back, hitting the wake. He just barely makes number 3, but he's not going to go any farther. The question now is, will that be enough?
2 to go. This is Brett Thurley of Australia. After him will be the world overall champion, Patrice Martin of France. So Thurley moves to 12 meters. 35 off. He needs all 6 boys to be in with a chance of a medal. He started this pass very accurately. Round 4 now. time to play with, and that was a superb pass from Brett Thurley. That was truly excellent slalom skiing. He had time to play with all the way down the course.
Well, my bet is looking a little better now because he's into the pass that is going to count. 16.8 seconds, one end of the course to the other for the towboat. The towboat is monitored by electronic timing, and if the time isn't within a tolerance, then reruns are given. There have been no reruns, so the boat driving is up to an excellent World Championship standard. This is excellent slalom skiing, and we keep saying that, excellent slalom skiing, but these are the best skiers in the world. So the only thing that comes in play here is the little mistakes, the little things that pressure causes, the little lapses of technique. There is no lapse of technique happening right now with Brett Thurley from Australia in that 6-point pass.
So this is the key pass for Thurley. 11.25 meters, 38 off. Lucky Low leads at this rope length with 3 boys. Thurley needs 3 or more to equal or go into the lead ahead of Lucky Low. He's round 2. He's pulling hard for 3. He's round 3. This could be the new leader. Round 4, it is. That's the new leader. Brett, and he knows he's done enough. It doesn't matter. Brett Thurley is the new leader in the 1993 World Championship Slalom Final. Lucky Low will not defend his title. It could move to Australia, but we've still got the great Patrice Martin to come.
We'll have to wait for the judge's decision as to whether that's a half point or a quarter point, but it's enough to put him in the lead at this time. And I'm sure this is a happy skier. He's a little late on that turn, but he's got to make it around this boy. Once he makes it around this boy, and if he can get himself out to the next one, he's got a winning score at this point. He can't hold on to the tow line. He's going to let go of it. He didn't quite get back to the wake, so it will be a judge's call. 3.5 they gave him. They did give him the extra quarter point. A lucky man.
The last man in the slalom final, Patrice Martin of France. There's no doubt he has the ability to beat Brett Thurley's score. 35 off. Patrice needs all 6 here. Very tight on number 1. He's looking good for 2. He rounds 3. No problems at all for Patrice. Impossible to spot a mistake at this stage. So clean and precise. That was exhibition slalom skiing from the Frenchman, the defending overall world champion.
He almost looked like he was out there on a Sunday afternoon ski just for the fun of it. It's on the lake. This is something to behold in the replay. We've slowed down the action because he's moving very quickly in real time. And you can see that he's not in trouble on any one of the boys. He's got his turns perfectly executed, the head coming across the course as he passes, not too sweeping a turn, just everything relaxed, everything in perfect shape. Coming up to the 6th boy, and he's out through the exit gate. And now we get down to where he can earn a gold medal in the slalom event, and wouldn't that be something for this trick specialist, or so we all thought.
So it's really now down to business for Patrice Martin. His target set by the Australian Brett Thurley, 3.5 at this next rope length, 11.25 meters, 38 off. Patrice needs 4 boys to be sure of the slalom title. Let's watch. It's a good 1. That's the important boy for Patrice. 2, he's a little late. Will he make it to 3? He does. But he's going to struggle for 4. And Brett Thurley is the 1993 World Slalom Champion. There's no doubt about that. Australia, having missed out in the women's competition when Tony Neville was beaten in the ski-off, now have something to really cheer about. Brett Thurley takes his first world title. 3.5 boys at 11.25. Patrice consoled by his father. Brett Thurley naturally delighted.
Amazing. I'm just numb. I never expected this to happen this year. I've had, probably one of my most ordinary seasons on the Pro Tour this year. I finished up 7th, but struggled for form all year. And a day before I jumped on the plane to come over here, I just all of a sudden, felt good. And then out there today, as soon as I hit the water, it was just like I was out there practicing. It's just fortunately for me, it happened today. It's unbelievable.
Gold then for Brett Thurley of Australia. Patrice Martin makes a solid start to his overall campaign with a silver medal, and the bronze goes to Lucky Lowe of the United States. Britain's world record holder Andy Mappel finished in 5th place.